Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. I hope you had a wonderful week. I would also love to hear if anything extra special happened this week. You can give me a comment below. That's something that made the week extra fun and special. I'd love to hear from y'all and what that maybe was. I have two quick announcements before we get into our lesson and check out our mystery bag. The first one is Tuesday. Nicely ask mom or dad if they could check out Facebook for you and let you get on and watch too. There's going to be a special video announcement for you kids because the Kids Way team has been working on a special fun activity for you guys to do this next week. And depending on how well you guys like it, I think it's pretty awesome, but depending on how you all like it, we may even continue it into future weeks. So get on, check out that video to let you know what fun thing is happening. The second announcement is an important reminder, we'll call it that way. Just want to give you kids a heads up, dads too, mother, because it's unusual week or unusual time. Mother's Day is in 2 weeks. If you are not tracking that, Mother's Day is in 2 weeks. And you also will not have your normal Kids Way Sunday craft to fall back on Mother's Day if you forget. So, may want to get to planning if you have not done that yet. So, once again, you have 2 weeks, so don't freak out too much, but you want to start planning. All right, let's get into our story today. So, do a quick recap. Remember, we've been continuing our story from Easter. So, Easter was when Jesus rose from the dead. And then we talked last week how Jesus appeared to the men on the road and also appeared to the disciples and the women, and how people were believing in him and just having that joy of him being alive again. And then so now some time has passed and Jesus has ascended to heaven. So before we get into our story, let's check out the mystery bag and see what our mystery item is. And oh my goodness, it's big. Ugh. We have a fan. What do fans do? Well, they move the air. They give you a breeze when you need to get cooled off. I wonder if wind or breeze has something to do with our story. Well, our story comes from Acts chapter 2. And in it, Jesus' followers have been waiting for this special helper that Jesus promised them before he ascended to heaven. And they have been praying, they've been worshiping him, and they're staying in this room, or in this house, in the room in the house. And while they're there, another feast has started in Jerusalem called Pentecost. And during that time, there were lots of people in Jerusalem for it. And the disciples and his followers and Jesus' followers were once again praying and just waiting on him. And when all of a sudden, all throughout this house, the sound of a gushing wind occurred. Hence our fan. A great wind blowing through the house occurred. And it was so loud that even the people outside were hearing it and started to gather around going, what is going on? Because after this wind came through, all of Jesus' followers began just worshiping and talking about Jesus. And what was cool was the people outside started hearing them in different languages and going, what is going on? And finally, Peter, having heard the people questioning what's going on and not being sure, stood up, and that's where our picture is, and started talking and telling the people what was going on. So he said, everyone, I can tell you, God is doing this. All right? And God sent his son, Jesus, and he continued to tell them all about Jesus and what had happened with Jesus, the miracles Jesus had done, how he had died on the cross, how he was alive, and how he had returned to heaven to be with God, and that they could follow and believe Jesus as well. And what was really cool is the Bible tells us that all the people there heard Peter in their native tongue, so in the language they'd grown up in, even though Peter didn't know how to speak all those languages. So what was really cool is God used the Holy Spirit, which is who he had sent at this time, for Peter to be able to talk to all these people. And in Acts, it tells us that 3,000 people believed when Peter told them all about Jesus and what had happened. And this started what we would consider the first early church. And so this is when it began. So yeah, that is what occurred. So you read Acts chapter 2 with your family. You can definitely talk about it and discuss it and just what sounds unusual during it and how God used that time and used Peter to tell others so that they could believe about Jesus. So have a great week. Like I said, I look forward to hearing from you. If you have any prayer requests, definitely reach out with those. And have a wonderful week. And like I said, tune in on Tuesday and see what fun activities happen.